Hey fellow fuzzy pickles, my name is Ben Sleeva and I'll be your host for this episode. Last time we helped some little dudes come out of their shells a bit, we fought a bunch of silly pillow baddies, and we brought down a coat hanger. This time, we're hopping down a random hole in the ground deep into the bowels of the earth where we can find and destroy one of the biggest threats we've seen thus far. It's a pair of puppies you won't want to adopt. One's a little bit country, the other one's a little bit of rock and roll. I like to call them the mood swing mutts. You're in store for a classic "my big brother's gonna beat up you" moment. Okay, enough silliness, I'll just reveal it. I'm talking about the two-phase boss, Carbon Dog and Diamond Dog. This is the last step before the end game starts, so know that there's a little extra weight we're carrying around this time. Last time we left our team, we had just defeated the Electro Spectre, and we progressed into Lumine Hall. It is there we find some encouraging words from the mind of our protagonist, and honestly, it has to be one of the most magnificent looking sanctuary spots. Typically, we get a little statue or some small significant spot. This time is a whole ass room. After reflecting, we drop down the room at the far end, and we are transported to the Lost Underworld. The Lost Underworld is so vast that we now are represented by tiny 3-pixel sprites, and the overworld enemies appear as gigantic dinosaurs and a moon for some reason. Let's not get ahead of ourselves. We have 3 baddies to keep an eye out for on the surface, which I just call myself using the word surface like we're not thousands of feet below the actual surface. Look, I'll be honest, I don't know how it works either, so don't get mad at me about it. We have 3 baddies to look out for you. We have Chomposaurus, and this pretty purple dinosaur has one of Paul's most powerful weapons. You have 1 in 128th chance of winning the magic frying pan. Go for it if you want to, chump. We have the Ego Orb. Its attacks are as big as its ego. Keep your HP up and give them all you got. And the Wetnosaurus. Someone get this dino a hanky. It's strong, but not when it gets fired up. You'll be able to see just what enemy is coming for you because its sprite matches its battle appearance. Now you'll benefit from receiving Paul's magic frying pan if you're lucky enough, and each enemy gives you between 25,000 and 45,000 experience points, but honestly, I would avoid the big boys if you can. They tend to be a pain in the butt. And speaking about pains in the butt, this is a perfect transition into the map of the Lost World. It is very, very vast and has some new assets that other maps don't have. For example, there are geysers throughout the map, 2 of which heal your HP and PP, another one heals status ailment. There are also several items that fall on the top tier list that are spread about as far out as possible. And seeing as it takes so long to get anywhere, you better have a strategy. Here's an instant tip. If you teleport into Lost World, you'll end up in the center, from top to bottom, and on the right third of the map. That's helpful because you'll be pointed directly at a phone to save in case you're in some dire straits. That's a good reset, but for now, let's paint it from the new perspective of Ness newly arriving. Also, for another tip, if you want to speed up the walking around this very vast area, use Teleportation Alpha, but know that if you get lucky enough with it, if you know what I mean, it will lend you back to the drop spot because you will teleport back. Okay, so from your landing spot, loop a bit up and hug that right wall. You'll see a Horn of Life at the far end. Continuing up the wall, you'll get to a sea pendant at the top corner. Following that wall around the corner, you will begin to see your first safe haven appear in the distance. Approaching the doors will prompt someone die along and lead you to learning about some game details from your rock buddy. This area is the downtown area, so stock up on goods. Buy you a couple Horn of Lives because they are literally lifesavers. And feel free to grab a bottle of DX water for Pooh's PP replenishment and a couple luxury jerkies to get you a good 300 HP boost for some added help. Once you've said your hellos, get ready to head to the left and then follow these walls all the way to the little pocket for Pooh's final equipment, the Cloak of Kings. There's also a brain food lunch you can get, but it's a bit out of the way and you can buy those in Dalam, so don't waste your time here unless you end up there. From the Cloak of Kings, head south, heal at the geyser, save at the bird, and head into this week's boss dungeon. Fire Springs is my least favorite dungeon. Even if I've said before I was wrong, it's this one. I think I attribute to hate towards all of the enemies being fire types, and the fire types can attack your entire party, and it's very frustrating. The enemies you'll find are the Evil Elemental. Don't let its fiery sprite fool you. Evil Elemental is weak against PSI fire, so fire away. Major Psychic Psycho. He's on fire. A strong PSI shield will protect you from his powerful psychic's attack. And his little brother, Psychic Psycho, he can read your future, but he sees burning. Take care not to receive his powerful PSI attacks. And the soul-consuming flame, cuter than it sounds. Extinguish this menace or prepare to get burned. Slow it down with some PSI freeze magic. In addition to the crummy enemies, there are also the possibilities that you'll end up lost. But luckily for you, you have me, and I won't let you get lost. There are a few items in the cave. I will outline how to get these. The rest you can either get on your own or not at all. From the entrance, skip the first door and rope and enter door A. A will lead you to one exit, exit B. From B, take the immediate rope up, and before taking door C, take the rope to its left, enter door K for a Horn of Life. backtrack to door C and follow it until door D. Exiting door D will take you to 2 ropes and door E. We have another fork inside door E. Taking door F will lead you to 2 ropes and our sanctuary boss. If you feel good about your health and abilities, then take door L, which will present you with 2 ropes and ultimately the moonbeam gun for Jeff. Judge the path by your current HP and item usage. Moonbeam or not, we will meet at the top of the climb and come face to face with our final sanctuary boss. Can you imagine that? We got to the final one already. How exciting. If you manage to keep all your party members alive and you've got a high amount of health left, get ready to say goodbye to all that because we finally met a prime enemy combo. The Carbon Dog is the first form of the 8th and final sanctuary. It is weak to PSI Freeze and PSI Flash. Paul and Jeff should use the Flame Pendant equipped if you have it. Use PSI Rockin', PSI Freeze, Bazookas, and Starstorm if you can. Be ready to use Life Up and try to keep everyone's HP as close to full as possible. Carbon Dog's attacks include using a biting attack, which is low, but it damages 1 target. He can charge forward, damaging 1 target with high power. Speaking of high power, he can spew out Flaming Fireball, which targets 1 person pretty highly. And the mother of all attack, Shout Out a Spray of Fire, which does between 240 and 400 damage to the entire party. It's akin to PSI Fire Omega. Carbon Dog's a first phase and should go away fairly easy. After 1,672 or more damage has been dealt to Carbon Dog, it emits a rainbow of colors and transforms into Diamond Dog. You might know him as Diamond Dog. When it transforms into Diamond Dog, its reflective physical shield goes up. If the hit that tipped it over was physical, it will take the full damage and reflect it back. So, careful. If Jeff's HP is low, consider guarding or using weaker attacks instead of bottle rockets. The Diamond Dog's ability to breathe fire is now replaced with the ability to use powerful diamondized bites, which, as the name of the attack implies, has a strong chance of diamondizing party members. Diamond Dog has higher defense and offense than Carbon Dog, but its gut stats is lower. When this form is first activated, the boss gains Shield B and will reflect the move that caused its transformation, provided it was physical. The Diamond Dog is able to use PSI now. Carbon Dog did not have any PP, by the way. Along with standard biting attacks, it may also howl, which has no effect. It will display the text reading, Diamond Dog is emitting a glorious light and can kill you and other party members in 1 hit, but it's rare. Use Jeff's neutralizer to take down Diamond Dog's psychic shield. Use your best offensive PSI and any bottle rockets you may have against Diamond Dog. Keep everyone's HP above 150 if possible. Now, Diamond Dog has 3,300 experience points, so know that you may be in this battle for a while, especially if you don't have any multi-bottle rockets. Upon defeating Diamond Dog, Ness gains entrance to the 8th Year Sanctuary location, Fire Spring. Here's some trivia for you. The transformation from Carbon Dog to Diamond Dog refers to the process of carbon becoming diamond through exposure to extreme heat and pressure. Here's some science for you. Carbon Dog is the only Sanctuary Guardian with 2 forms, and Carbon Dog's sprite shines slightly brighter than any other one in the Sanctuaries. Not sure if we've seen a boss as difficult as Diamond Dog by itself, so fighting a double baddie makes it twice as hard. Don't get discouraged about dying a lot or losing party members, especially if it's your first time through. It's a bear. But if you keep to it, in no time at all, you will be through the duo and on your way to a very unique part of the game. I won't spoil it for next week, but know that you won't be dreaming when we make our way through our very own mind and end up face to face with Ness's Nightmare. Thank you for following this series. There are 2 more, 2 following this one. So if you're new to the series, know that, though it's coming to an end, we're far from running out of content. Check out the rest of the episodes on the link to the left, and the right one will take you to other Earthbound videos I've made. You stay classy, and like always, later days.